I spent every free moment editing. What'd you spend all your free moments doing?
You mean like on the weekends?
Yeah.
And stuff? Well, I would watch dailies. And when I wasn't watching dailies,
Cruise tranny hookers
yeah,
with
you
the
know,
wife.
yeah, I'm like, you want me to blow her?
If we were in Lost, and there was nobody
on
else
the show, or we were actually trapped on the island?
It's like Lost, but the plane that went down, we were the only two survivors. We're on the island with no hope of. We don't know if we're ever going to get rescued. We don't even have hope like these fuckers. Like every once in a while, they find a plane or some such shit.
Yeah. Well, we never leave the beach.
Yeah, we're always just like, let's stay here. Or you're like, let's go hiking, and I'm like, fuck that, let's stay here in case somebody comes. Plus, hiking sucks. So we're just living on the beach and shit. And maybe every once in a while you go out and hike.
Well, I mean, at that
Run
point,
into a polar bear, and you're like, there's a fucking polar bear on the island. I'm like, I told you should stay on the beach.
I mean, I don't think I would be doing like recreational things. It would be more like, I'm going to go try to get us food.
I'm like, all right, I'm down with that.
Like, I wouldn't hike into the thing just to be like, I mean, I would hike to, if I ended up on an island, I might introduce the idea of like, I should hike to a vantage point where we can see most of the island, because maybe there's anything on there,
Right.
as opposed to staying on one beach. 2, I would hike into the interior to try to find food.
Right.
You would have to deal with fish.
Like catch him?
Yeah, but like, and also eating them.
Yeah, that'd be tough for me. I mean, I guess if you're hungry, you'd fucking do it.
I mean, we'd have to create fire. I would actually, there would be a part of me that would be like,
You're like, I know I
love
gotta
the
do
idea of-
everything.
the idea of us sitting around trying to figure out when we're going to fuck each other.
That's what I'm talking about. How long would it be before we were like, all right, would we just, our first off, let's take it to the first level. Do you jerk off on the island?
Sure.
Do you do it privately? Do you do it while I'm sleeping? Or you're like, I'm going on a hike. And it's like a 3-minute hike, and you're like, I'm back.
I'm just like behind a tree 5 feet away. You can see me.
Finding a knot in a fucking palm tree and
Yeah.
shit, drilling it. Do you do jerk off? Do you jerk off in the ocean, underwater? Or is that like salt water in your dick?
Maybe I would do it there. I don't know where I would do it. I think that there would be, initially, my thing would be food and shelter.
Right.
And I would think I would use masturbation as more of just a like,
Tension relief.
yeah, like, you know, after a long day. I mean, it's pitch dark. It's not like there's lots of light.
It's true.
I could be in the same room and you wouldn't see it.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that noise? Nothing. Go back to sleep. I'm not sleeping. Just, you didn't hear nothing.
You don't see nothing. You don't hear nothing.
Get lost. I'm like, we are lost.
I'd probably do it in private.
How many years do you think it's before you're like, let's fuck? Or do you ever get to that point? Or are you ever like, is it too weird? Or we're like, we're too good. I don't want to ruin the friendship.
It would be a strange. I think it would have to be something that you would have to experience. Like
What do
on
you
the
mean?
outset, I would be like,
Never.
well, it wouldn't occur to me that, like at this point, I think you would have to go to the experience, because off the top of my head, I'm like, my initial reaction is like, one, I would think about surviving
Right.
and getting rescued, not to avoid fucking you.
Right. Right. I mean, I was starting to get a
not
little
my part.
hurt. My feelings are hurt.
I sent out all these messages, like, please rescue me, so we don't have to fuck.
I'm within a month of fucking this fat pig, and I don't want to do it. Please help us get unlost.
I assume that it would be something that might progress over time. It would have to be in that moment, not because I'm so like appalled by the idea of like having sex
Right.
with you, but more
Thanks.
but more it would be way down on the list of things. Even if we crashed and there was even if we crashed in the lost sense, we were a part of a larger group.
Right. Well, there'd be broads.
But I also don't know how quickly it would just be like, who wants to fuck?
Oh my God! Right away. If I'm not married and I crash on Lost,
Just gonna roll.
Jack and all those people are like, we're building the shelters. We're going to find food. We're fucking. They're taking the lead. I'm like, right on. Hey, ladies, who wants to fuck me? I would be thinking about it.
I think it would occur. It wouldn't. Once again, it would not be my initial I don't think it would occur to me about sex until I knew that I was like, I am in a situation where I can survive on a day-to-day basis.
Well, it's like Lost, where it's
Yeah.
like we find a bunch of food, the
Fresh
Dharma
water.
Initiative food, yes.
Fresh water, food, and shelter. As long as I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to maybe eat every day, but I have there's a
No,
method.
you're eating every day. Like, you find cornflakes and shit. And
Oh,
peanut
okay.
butter, just like in like all that Dharma food.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
So it's just like quickly we find a hole in the ground.
Totally. The hatch and fucking all of a sudden we're like, holy shit, there's food, but nobody's in the hatch. It's not like we got to deal with Desmond, who's like, all right, brother, who's going to fuck me? You know, it's like we find a hatch and it's like, holy shit, someone was here before. And there's food. I guess if we found the hatch and food, we would be less inclined to fuck because we're like, somebody might be watching.
There's just literally a red tube feed to fucking home, and everyone's like, they're alive, and they're totally gay.
Everyone's taking bets and shit. Vegas odds are up. Like,
Yeah.
how soon before these idiots fuck?
It's fucking, it's like porn Survivor. It's like, we've stranded 2 men on an island who think they're alone.
But it happens in jail. Like, dudes go to jail, and like, you're talking about dudes who are in jail for like 3 years, and they'll still fucking like down low it and shit, and get blown by other dudes and fuck other dudes. Remember Midnight Express? That dude fucking in the shower scene where they made tender love.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't know how long he was in jail at that point, but dudes fuck if they're left to their own devices. Because you're talking about the two genders. One is more inclined to fuck on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I think. And I hope that doesn't sound misogynist or gender biased, but I think dudes have a way higher libido than chicks, at least to a certain point, and then chicks kick into their prime or whatever, and then their libido goes up or something.
Well, I think I'm sure that women would also, if there was 2 women,
Oh, they would totally fuck. They'd be more inclined to fucking eat pussy.
be intimate.
Yeah.
I think
eat pussy.
Yeah.
You call it intimate, I call it eating pussy.
I mean, once again, like, I couldn't put a time frame on it, but I'm sure that, like,
3 years?
I'm sure within 3 years.
Within 3 years? Fag.
I was like, I know the hook's out there. If I don't bite it, it's just going to keep going on.
I think that would be strange. I think there'd be a lot of jerking off, though, because you want to talk about it as a tension reliever. What's more tense than, like, we're fucking trapped, man. Nobody knows where we are. I'd be jerking off every hour, I think.
I'd be like, unless you're going to start eating your semen, you got to, like...
Totally. It's like, we get a fire going. We take that shit, put it in, like, a makeshift coconut pan, and make eggs, kind of. Like, whip it up. It's like egg whites.
Well, that means, so we don't have cornflakes now. We're fucking making cum
You're
egg.
like, dude, there's a whole closet full of cornflakes. I'm
exactly.
like, I know, but I want some bukkake eggs.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would get there as long as I had an idea of that we could stay alive. Would it ever occur to you to not want to be alive?
Well, if we're constantly being preyed upon by like the others or a black cloud or a polar bear,
Yeah.
I might be like, yeah, death might be preferable.
You're just like, it's too weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, do you know what's going on? Because I don't. A polar bear, if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think polar bears exist on tropical islands. And what is that black cloud? And fucking like, I heard a dinosaur
What if it
once.
wasn't like... What if it wasn't good TV? It was more just like,
Hey,
you're on an island.
Like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. Not TV. What if you're a castaway?
Like Tom Hanks.
Without a volleyball.
Fuck. Because I'd fuck that volleyball in a heartbeat. I
You're
wouldn't
like,
name
why
it.
is
What do
there
you
a big
call it?
round mouth?
Yeah, I was like, take a guess, motherfucker. You're like, I really want to play volleyball, but there's no air in it because you drilled a big hole in it.
It's full of semen.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to play with this ball, Scott. One good spike and you're fucking covered. If it was like a regular island where it's just like no adventures going on,
Well, I mean, you could have an adventure.
like what kind of adventure?
Well, the adventure is like, how do you actually survive?
Just hang out on the beach, catch fish.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's actually harder than it,
Than it is on Lost.
than it is on any television show.
I don't know. If we went down on a plane, you imagine like let's say some dude was like just coming back from a fishing trip and we got a pole.
Well, now you're making it into a TV show.
I think it's plausible that if you're on a plane that goes down, there might be a fucking fishing rod in storage in the luggage thing. I don't think that's like.
But more likely you'd have to have spears.
I think the bigger question is like, where would you get the bait? And if you got the bait, why bother? Why not eat the bait?
Well, that's why you would use a spear. You don't actually put bait on the end of a spear. Hope that they
check it out. I put a worm on the spear and then I stab the fucking fish with it.
You're like, what?
I'm like, I don't know. Don't you use bait to catch a fish?